I want to give you a quick tutorial on the anchoring process, the anchoring principle of foundation training. A real fast rundown is that the muscles that support the arches of the feet, the inner legs, the groin, they all connect into the pubic symphysis at the base of the pelvis. And that all of them work together to not only lift the arches, but to kind of contract the inner legs towards center to help us stand up tall. Your arches aren't strong enough to just press you off the ground. That's not really the way it works. There's these connections throughout the body that are very supportive. And most of those connections are stronger at the proximal part of the body, where the hip joint is, as opposed to the distal, further away ends of the body, where the ankles or wrists are. You want proximal strength. You want distal range of motion. So let's work on proximal strength. The anchoring process starts, we'll use the founder for this one, with 3 points of contact on the foot pressing firmly into the ground. The ball joint of the big toe, ball joint of the pinky toe and the heel, but that they're pressing into the ground from the outside edges of the foot in a parallel position. If you look at this position, you see a little bit of internal rotation at the hip joint, a little bit more internal rotation at the feet. Not a lot, 3 to 5 degrees. The anchoring process is an isometric contraction that first comes from a little bit of a hip hinge, and next, with slightly bent knees and powerful feet, creates an inward or outward isometric contraction. Now, this contraction comes from the same place and the same position, whether it's an inward squeeze or an outward push. The inward squeeze is going to look like the ball joint of the big toe across to the opposite heel, like you're making a very short but wide X between your feet and squeezing towards the center of it. If you do it right, you're going to see the knee joints just move ever so slightly medially. They're not going to fold in. They're going to stay very powerful. And it's going to feel like the groin muscles are starting to shake a little bit. If you go into an outward anchor from the exact same position, all the stuff stays the same, but now the heel and the midfoot are pressing outward, away from each other. And all of a sudden, like magic, your glutes, your ischial tube, all of these hip IT band areas, all of the muscles that connect to them and all the joints that they connect to start to operate in this big, powerful IT band glute contraction. Like the chassis of your legs, the base of your legs is just working for you, supporting the upper torso. That's basic inward and outward anchoring. And now we're going to switch into a tall lunge decompression to show front to back anchoring in a scissoring motion. Let's go either leg, whichever one you want. Left leg forward, right leg back is great. In this position, we're going to use proximal strength to support the center of us. And that looks like a pair of scissors closing. So from that powerful decompressed position where you're just upright, your weight is distributed 50-50 front to back leg, you're going to take that front leg and pull it towards center. You're going to take that back leg and pull it towards center like a pair of scissors closing. It's going to feel like the hamstring on the front leg, the upper hamstring, and the back hip flexor on the back leg is going to be doing most of the work. And it gives you a platform that you can actually stand up taller from if you use it correctly. So that's 2 ways to use an anchor. Actually, technically 3 ways to use an anchor. In the hinged positions, you can go in or out. In a linear lunge decompression position, you just go straight in, driving force to the base of the pubic symphysis and then lifting the torso away from it as well as you can. You're going to get good at anchoring and decompression if you keep following along all these videos, but this is your first little go at it. Keep trying, keep practicing, see what you can figure out.